Yo, welcome back everybody. Today we have gameplay from Maiev sparking a pretty fun discussion that we've been having as of late, which is how do you play Undead in this current meta? Because Undead has a lot of different ways of being played. You can play toward summoners, you can play toward aura effects like Anub'Arak stacking and whatnot, you can play toward Lady Deathwhisper and get stats. And it's really a question of like, where is it in the game? How early, how late is it? Are you capable of turning the corner after tanking 1 or 2 lost rounds, or are you just going to play for immediate tempo and see what happens there? Really, Undead's a tempo tribe. The scaling lines that make uber good late game boards are inherently the same boards that make you strong in the short term. So if you're not going to get strong quickly, like, you know, with Anub'Arak scaling and whatnot, you get strong pretty quick. Or you're, say, for example, go in the Deathwhisper line, you're like, oh my god, I'll just live through 3 or 4 turns of being weak, and I'll take all those stats. There's a massively different average placement between the two. And that early tempo, and then just snowball everyone out of the lobby line is just so good. All right, enjoy. Arcane's one of the builds that almost always overperforms early in the expansion. Most casters do better early in the expansions, and gear dependent things get better toward the later portions of the expansion. I don't like these cards. I don't like this whole never get triples thing on Maiev. It makes me mad. Also, these cards are just terrible. We have a ghost. I think we just roll. Thanks, I hate it, but I'd rather have my triple. No. I was talking about retail? Interesting. Retail in general just has deeper rotations than it had in 20 years to get there? Yeah, for sure. Retail is just a more complicated game. It's a better game. The thing that keeps Classic up is that it's nostalgia. It's just fun. Because it's old. It's fun because it's old. My Feral DPS has 6 buttons. Feral's probably the exception. Feral's DPS rotation's actually nasty. And that's mostly because they just kind of fucked up the class, you know? I feel like it shouldn't be that broken. In general, though, Feral's always been one of the more complicated rotations, and the fact that, like, it's still kind of fucky on Classic. Have you tried hardcore mode classic? You mean like the OG never die hardcore mode? Like 60 vanilla hardcore? No, I just don't have enough time to play it. It just would be an effort of just avoiding all things that are risky. Now, don't get me wrong, easier said than done. All right, well, we got a ghost in the lobby. We get a triple next turn. We're going to take our 6. It's pretty intense. It just feels like something you can just cheese. Because I just get a buddy to take care of all the problems for me, you know? More tedious than enjoyable, exactly. Like, the achievement doesn't mean anything because you can cheese it. And if you do it genuinely, like the real way, it's basically playing the game 100% safe, always keeping defensives up, and doing things that are 3 levels or 4 levels below you. While you won't level quickly, you'll rarely ever die. Yep, PvE server questing green zones, exactly. Same idea. Easier said than done still, because there's a lot of things that are just kind of silly little trip-ups that can kill you. Fall off an elevator, exactly. All the things that could just get you killed. The dumbest shit. Never go to Thunderbluff. Shit, man, for that matter, don't go to cities. You're just gonna get a world boss pulled into you. Mm-hmm. Kind of know we're losing these rounds. Maybe if we can kill the Rendell. Rendell dying would be pretty cool. Pretty cute. Can Rendell be dead, please? No. Eh. Oh? Coin flip? That's a good pup bot. Who's a good pup bot? They did Molten Core on Harbor. Oh, yeah, for sure. They were guilds doing like all the things for all the achievements. But for a casual player like me, it just seems tedious. A noob early. We could just triple into 5. The fact that we have a ghost also is really bad for a noob. Just so bad, man. Like, the Anub line is so bad. Colossus? It's a good card. Means we got her the noob then. Gar's not going to happen. Colossal is safer. Yeah, it's definitely safer for sure. I think it's just better in general. As much as I'd like to play something a little bit tougher. What expansions did you play originally? Classic, very, very end of Classic. Like, got the game and never got out of like early leveling zones before TBC launched. Up until the first raid of Cataclysm, then I quit. I played 1 season in MOP and then I never played again. So basically the time period where a bunch of people played WoW. And then I left like everybody else. Flavor of the month, WoW time. Do we buy a noob if we face Ghost next round? It's going to be a tough question, right? We probably just go 6 instead. No Ghost. Could still go to 6. I'm not going to. We could. Oh. Never mind. Let's find Baron. When we talked about the way to play Undead, this was the way to play Undead. The quick stats on the board line and not the play Deathwhisper and shit line. Now, if we get Deathwhisper, we're still probably going to have to play it. But we'd much prefer Reborn effects here. Or just another Colossus, which is also a Reborn effect, but whatever. Thank you. This is so much better. We need to get the non-reborn minion off the board so that this thing reliably reborns. Oh, the tempo Undead line. You selling Null now, right? Yeah, selling Null up front just so I can look at the triple first and then Mug if we do get something that we could buff 3 things. You also could make an argument for Mug before doing the triple just so you guarantee buff on Colossus and Pup Bot because you oftentimes don't buy anything that's another tribe anyway. This is getting spicy. One of the only Undead boards that really works right now. Just straight tempo Undead. But at least we've got it. Die, you piece of shit. Die. You. Okay. Please, sir, would you kill my Anub'Arak? This game is bullshit. At least we got it to die once. Anub'Arak online or Undead is the best line. It's just the one that gets online the quickest. And that's the only thing that actually matters. We have nothing better than this right now. But kind of a hard sell. Because unless we get another Soul Splitter, we don't play it. We also play Baron and whatnot over top of it anyway. Now it's a 2 out of 3. Ever worth it? We get like an 8/8 per turn off of this guy. Yeah, probably. Golden Anub? Now is it ever worth it? Because now we don't have a 2 out of 3 chance to reborn a noob. It'll be a 50-50 next turn, with this being on the board and this being golden. Might not be worth it anymore. I think this is just not going to happen. Unless we find another Soul Splitter, it's just not going to be on the board. They should buff a noob by making it 1 less health. Yes, agreed. So it doesn't trade Bran here. Oh my god. They died this time. It can happen. They do exist. Dear Lord. He's also getting great hits. I'm gonna need you to go left. Okay. Guess we'll just take the time. Bran ain't supposed to be a Titus. It'd be ideal, wouldn't it? But it's really a question of, really a statement of we don't want another undead on the board, so this thing doesn't get reborn to this instead of the Anub. Be nice if it was a Titus. Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. No way in hell, brother. It could be Zap or it can be Genie, but there's no way health scaling on this board for more than 1 turn is the play. Too late for Abomination now? Yeah, I mean, we picked it up knowing that we had to hit another Soul Splitter in that turn for it to be playable. Now it's the card that we never put on the board. Deathwhisper creates a 50-50, then Noob doesn't buff the board, but if we get these guys out of ghoul range with just 1 turn of playing it, it might be worth it. Then we sell it. Oh, so good for the long term. Wild that Sister isn't even in the play with a board full of the Reborn. Yeah, it's kind of its problem. It has no real place in this game. If it had Reborn on itself, it would be way better. Even if it was like a 3/3 and it had Reborn on itself, then it could actually be played along with the synergies with Reborn. So it kind of feels like we just have to read this as we don't keep scaling off of a noob. That we just play handless. We play because we need to be stronger. All right. It's good. Continues to be good. Please buff this. Hate this game. This is why we don't want it on the board. But at least we get all these guys, or hopefully all of them, out of ghoul range, which is something. Also, Keck W. It's a 6/106. We can actually value trade that. Not often you'll get things that can value trade the Trickster on an undead board. Amusingly, ours does. Do you think that Exodia Undead with Hand, Ghoul, and a new Baron is viable? No, not even remotely. Like, you're trying to play a Ghoul with it to have it spawn shit? No. Not unless like you're fighting Leapfrogger or something. All right, we want Summoner from 6. But we really just want Soul Splitter or Baron at this point in the game. Right game. I don't want to play it again. I want this or this to be reborn at this point. Not you. We're always freezing Deathswarmer too. Right now we spawn approximately 3, 5. What is this? 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Say it's around like 16-ish minions Every Death Swarmer we play is 16 extra attack. It's like better than cycling a Leaper on a mech board full of mechs, ignoring even the Divine Shield and whatnot value. If we got Baron early in this game, we're actually kind of a house. We also reborn the Deathwhisper again. Ugh, this card trolls you so hard. Good enough. Lethal, actually. Good enough and lethal. Deathwhisper would be better as a neutral. It would be way better as a neutral. That's another good statement. Like, it scaling itself isn't really that important, because you don't usually keep it at the end of the game. Even a 50, 100 isn't worth playing. When, unlike the good versions of Undead boards. Alright, game. You just like funny and shit. Kind of want all of the buffs. Where's Bran? So good. Cute. You ever pick up a neutral? By neutral, I mean just like anything that isn't this. Because Reborn here is so much power at this point in the game. No, I just play 6 instead. Corpse Refiner potential. Unfortunately, it has the same problem. We were stronger on average by playing 6 minions than 7 here. Alright. Nothing that we really need to goal. I guess we pull you up. Should pull you slightly forward. No real reason to play around Cleave or anything anymore. It's a Murloc board. Why do we only reborn the things that don't scale our board? It's fine. It's all whatever. We can't spawn more than 7 minions on the board, so there's no real reason to worry about it. Grab Demon, hope it eats the 19-3. It's just not worth the 2 gold. I'd rather just play 6 minions. Alright, well. You can outstat us pretty easily. We either go up for exactly Eternal Summoner, or we stay down for Baron. What about both? What if we just like go up for Eternal Summoner and we stay down for Baron in the same turn? Any world that you read this guy is weak enough that I can sell the Handless Forsaken. I gotta pick it up again next turn, pretty much. And it's so good next turn. Feels like that's a no, but whatever. Call your mother says play it safe. Good role play in chat. Good role play. Actually talked to my mother today. There you go. Thought everybody would like to know that. Seen like 9,000 spiders this game, true. For real though. So good. Reborn this, please. Pretty please. Oh, shit. We actually got one. Would you look at that? If it wasn't taunted, it would have value traded a fucking Void Lord. And we got some good value. Great value from the summoner, you know. Hoggers. We got our scaling. All right, let's see how big the Jandis gets. Can we outstat that? My dude. We want Summoner or we want this triple? Golden Baron. Feels real bad. As much as I'd like it. Seems too late to care toward that or care about that. Care toward it. Oh, you're so good. Reborn them both. We really want to get out of Noob soon enough, but 2 gold or Uther? Uther's not terrible to play around Zap. I don't think he zaps us. Not selling anything this turn. Not going for ball? You gotta sell something to take the ball. Or you gotta not know what your triple is. So, like, why does it matter? I'm not gonna freeze for it, right? It was my mother's birthday yesterday. Moms are cool. Yo, a digital Charmander. That sounds like a cool mom. Cool moms are cool. We didn't quite get there. Feels good, man. 1 hit here. Then this thing pops. I guess it's 2. Baron down! Yeah, that's the... We talked about it earlier today with like the one good undead line just doesn't run Deathwhisper because Deathwhisper scaling is nothing compared to the actual aura scaling that this tribe is capable of doing. And being able to play cards like Colossus and Eternal Summoner in the middle of the game and get them attack quickly is way more important than getting that health scaling consistently over time. We just kind of bullied everyone out of that lobby. Plus, you know, just hit 1,000,000 spiders. Exactly. Yeah, just like always hit spider too. Also, just only hit spiders. We even played a brand spider at some point in that game. We played a golden spider. I think we played like 6 or 7 spiders through, including a golden spider and a double effect brand one. So like casually 9 attack aura. Early Anub for sure is better when you have tons of reborn. Yeah. Anub kind of carries undead right now. All of the other cards can kind of be mixed in and out other than the minion that gives reborn. You can play the collectors, you can collectors, whatever it's called. Summoners, you can play the Divine Shield with a Colossus, ideally. But you can also just play like anything that spawns more minions along with Anub, as long as it has natural reborn, so you're reborning the Anub. At the end of the game, you really want to clean it up so you have as many attacks as possible, but like we didn't even really have Baron that game, and our scaling was good. I think Anub is a well-designed card. I agree. I think it's the... I gave feedback on the initial version of Undead to the devs and said that I think that Eternal Summoner being the best way of playing Undead is really bad. And that aura attack scaling being the way to play Undead feels like a much more natural way of doing it. And it feels different. It's not the same thing every single game. It feels like you have multiple ways of doing it. You can play toward Battlecry, you can play toward Anub, but Anub's really heavily invested in it. And it also is something that feels different than playing Murlocs, you know? It feels different than playing Elementals. You scale it and do it in a different way. Now, the initial version of Undead that we kept seeing was like summoners just littering boards everywhere, and it just felt super, super boring. To me personally. I like that they kind of reshaped it a little bit, where Undead are more tied toward aura effects.